would like to welcome our audience to Diversity TV. Today we have the Sickle Cell Foundation Alberta representatives here, Ms. Biba Tinga, Dr. Jean, and Mr. Abi Adrian. So we're here gathered to talk about the sickle cell disease and what it is, just everything that relates to it. So I don't know a lot about it, and I'm sure a lot of our audience also don't know a lot about it. But maybe you could explain, before we start, you could explain what sickle cell is, if anyone wants to take that up.
Okay. Biba, you go.
I will let you go, Dr. Jane.
No. I want you to go because you know more about it than I do. Honestly.
Well, so to explain it, very simply, sickle cell disease is a genetic red cell blood disorder. So you get it when both parents are carriers, and then they give the gene to the child. It's a very debilitating and very painful disease that manifests. It's a chronic, lifelong condition, and that manifests in so many ways. Like some people will need a transfusion for the course of a lot of transfusion for the course of their life. And some people are going to have other complications like acute chest syndrome, which is a complication, of the lungs. And some others may have leg ulcers, And what I want you to remember is that it's a very, very painful disease. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Biba, for that. And so we'll just get right into today's topic. So we'll start with you again, Biba, and if you could explain a little bit about what the Sickle Foundation of Alberta does.
Okay, so before I do that, I think what I'm gonna do, I'm going to talk about the Sickle Cell Disease Association of Canada, which is the national umbrella for sickle cell disease. And then we get to the Sickle Cell Foundation of Alberta, which is a member, a stakeholder. So the Sickle Cell Disease Association of Canada was founded in 2012 to serve as a national umbrella for provincial sickle cell groups, And the reason for that is that we realized that some of the issues that the sickle cell community in Canada has been going through need advocacy and support at the federal level. So even though our healthcare system is provincial, some of the issues have to be raised at the federal level for us to get solution to that. And as you all know, as I said, earlier, sickle cell is a very painful disease. And what have we got, so far? For the past 40 years, what we got were just Band-Aid solutions. What do I mean by Band-Aid solution? We've had like painkillers, blood transfusion, and the only drugs that we've been using all these years for sickle cell disease was not even made specifically for sickle cell. It's the hydroxyurea, which is a cancer drug. So that's what that's what has been used to treat sickle cell patients. So we realized that we need to go to Ottawa. We need to go to our policymakers, and to bring a change to that. And for instance, after all this time with just supportive care, we've had 3 new drugs that have been approved by the US FDA. In 2017, there was L-glutamine. And then at the end of 2019, for the first time in sickle cell history, we've had 2 new drugs approved in the US. None of them are available in Canada yet. So we are still left with our, supportive care. So that's why we came together, we brought all the national groups. At this time, we have member group like the Sickle Cell Foundation of Alberta. We have provinces like Atlantic Canada, and we have Quebec. We have British Columbia, Manitoba, and Ontario at the table. And we also have, other groups that are partners, collaborate now and then. And we advocate on behalf of the patient community. And one of the most important projects that we are working on, for example, now, it's a national registry for sickle cell disease. Now, what is a National Registry for Sickle Cell Disease? It's a private and secure database where you are officially, visible to the healthcare system. Very simple. They know that you exist. For them to take care of your need, you have to be, somewhere. They know that you are living in a specific place, and this is the type of sickle cell that you have. And that is going to help us, advocate for better quality of care, shorter time wait, at the in the ER, and bring support, simply to the community. So that's why we need those provincial groups like the Sickle Cell Foundation Alberta, who are on the ground to reach out directly to the community, people with sickle cell disease, people with sickle cell trait, the parents, the caregiver, and the advocate in the community, so that we can, together make the quality of life better for people who are dealing with this very debilitating disease.
Yes, thank you, Biba, for that. Now we'll go to Dr. Jean, who can, I guess, expand a little bit more in a different area on this.
So today, I will talk about our organization, Sickle Cell Foundation of Alberta, when the organization first was developed. And we will talk about some of the things that we're doing today in order to advance the awareness of sickle cell anemia and to help educate not only patients and caregivers, but the general public about sickle cell disease. Because people who have sickle cell disease go to work, they go to school, and they are not to be deemed as dying with sickle cell disease, but to be deemed as living in spite of sickle cell disease. So sickle cell patients want to participate in everything in everyday life. So we've been around since 2002, and we have had minimal success, but we're growing, and we are continuing to grow as every year. But this year has been particularly hard on us because we see the disparities with respect to health, and under that rubric falls sickle cell anemia. So we have been doing our own research in the area of culture and socio-cultural issues with respect to sickle cell anemia. And one of the things that we found out was that, segueing to what Biba was talking about and blood, we know now that the genetic component of blood aids people who have sickle cell anemia when they have to have about 8 pints of blood every 3 to 8 weeks. So we went out into the community and we did some research, and knowing that the non-white communities are less likely to donate blood. And that came out of a research from Guelph University. So when we went out into the community to find out what are the determinants that prevent them from donating blood, we found out that the non-white community, first of all, know very little about sickle cell anemia. They also are not aware of the link between the genetic composition of the blood and the donor and the recipient. And we also found out that they do not get their information from the same media as we have been used to getting our information from. So what we have been doing now is we decided that it was time for us to act. And we are launching, well, we have had one before. And for this month, Black History Month, we are launching a blood drive in order to get more non-whites to become regular blood donors. They will get a PIN number that they'll have to use when they go to donate blood. So we can keep a score of how many people are donating blood from the non-white community. So that was the first thing that we're working on right now. The second issue is also very important. And I'm happy to say that we are doing a K-12 nonfiction and fiction collaboration. We're going to get the nonfiction and fiction literature into the school system via the public library. So we're working with them right now to roll out this curriculum of nonfiction and fiction literature pertaining to Blacks. The important thing to know about this is that we are going to have all the nonfiction and fiction literature pertaining to sickle cell anemia. We usually go out to do education and attend education conferences. And what we found out that the teachers keep asking us about literature with respect to sickle cell anemia because they don't know much about it. The students in the class don't know much about it. And they usually encounter children with either the disease or the trait. So that's the second project that we're working on right now. And hopefully within a year, the literature guide will be available for anyone who wishes to use it. And like I said, the City of Edmonton Public Library is working with us to get this rolled out. Based on the issues that we have encountered with respect to our healthcare, we always had in mind that we would like to have a research chair to study sickle cell anemia. But with respect to COVID and the disparities in health among Black people, we decided we will bring this to the forefront. So what we are also going to launch during Black History Month is our $5 million push to acquire a research chair at one of our universities to study sickle cell anemia and sickle cell trait. Under that rubric, we will have not only the medical aspects of sickle cell anemia and the research that pertains to that, but we're also going to be looking at the socio-cultural and psychological effects of illnesses like sickle cell anemia. So that's what we're doing. If you want to find out more about the blood drive or our $5 million push for a research chair, please visit our website and we will have it up for you later. So now I'll turn you all over to Abby, because Abby is going to talk about what we're trying to do in Calgary to have some more outreach.
Before that, Abby, Dr. Jane, can you explain to people who might want to get involved, how they can get involved with, volunteering or any of that kind of stuff?
Oh, yes, that's a really good issue for me. Right now, we are pitching the point that if you want to go into university and to do post grad work also, it's very important for you to have volunteer and leadership strengths. So right now, Sickle Cell Foundation is in need of some volunteers and board members. So visit our site and you can see the positions that we have available for anyone in the public who wishes to help us achieve our goals. We are a very small organization, but I have to say a very dedicated one. Okay, so visit our website and you'll get more information. Come on board. We will document your volunteer hours. We'll help you to get leadership skills, and that skill set will bode well as you go on in life. But if you want to go on to do postgraduate work at universities.
Can I add something? Can I add something very short to that?
Go ahead.
Yes. So, and it's true, what Dr. Jane just said, we are in dire need of volunteers. But I want to say specifically how anybody today, watching this can support the sickle cell community. We need your time, and then we also need you to make a free gift, and the gift of life, because people living with sickle cell rely on blood transfusion to survive. So if you are an individual, from the diverse communities and you can donate blood, please visit the Sickle Cell Foundation of Alberta or ACJC website to know how to donate blood using our Partner for Life numbers. Those numbers are, it's a kind of an ID given to the sickle cell community by the Canadian Blood Services. So when you use it to donate blood, it means that that blood donation is going to be linked to the sickle cell community. So it's very important that before you donate blood, you check to have the PFL number, register and donate blood, and also become a volunteer with one of our provincial or the national organization. We need people with skills in, accounting, legal or paralegal, and simply, even if you can just come and support any activity that we are doing, we will appreciate. Thank you.
Thank you, Biba. Now we'll go over to Abby.
Yes. Hi, everyone. My perfect segue by way of introduction. I coming from the angle through which Biba and Dr. Jean just talked about. I am a volunteer. I not too long ago joined. I have a regular life. I live here in Calgary. I work in the oil industry, but I wanted to I wanted to contribute because I have members of my family who have the sickle cell trait and who have the disease as well. And that's how volunteering can be easy. Just a simple process of just going to the website, and that's how I was able to sign on. So having been here in Calgary now, I have, in some little way, started my contributions to the being a member of the board, or basically by just volunteering my time, my hours, and just to see whatever little needs I can put to contribute to the success of the society. In Calgary here, as a board member, I'm also an advisory board member with the Patient Advisory Council with the Alberta Health Services. And that unit basically exists to act as a liaison between patients, advocating for patients and their families, and with the hospital and the support that comes from the hospital. Basically, that's what that advisory council does. It serves an educational purpose. It basically just supports what the healthcare experts give to the patients. And that's the role whereby some of us who volunteer on that board contribute to the success of that endeavor. In Calgary here, we're striving to increase our numbers, and it's been growing gradually. Calgary and Southern Alberta, I would say. And we're gearing efforts to improve participation and various levels, fundraising, and basically just getting awareness out. Yeah, that's in the short extent, that's kind of what we're about here.
I forgot to mention that what we have been able to do is found out that the people whom we need to reach to become blood donors, they do not see the regular media. So what we are doing is we are creating an app that we will get people to come visit our site, get the PIN, the number that they need to donate blood for sickle cell patients. And when they're finished, we're asking them to come back and talk about their experiences. And also, we will be providing them with more information and more stories about patients who have been helped through the blood that they have donated. So we want to create a very nice and inclusive village of people who are donating blood to help sickle cell patients, spreading the word and telling about their stories. So the app will be coming up soon, but for now, because the app isn't yet fully developed, we are having our blood drive during Black History Month, so we can get people to come to the site and also talk about their experiences. And we'll move on from there.
Dr. Jean, where will this blood drive be? And how can people get information about, events that will be happening with the Sickle Cell Foundation of Alberta?
Okay, similar to what we're doing here today, we intend to really publicize the work we're doing. It's very important for us as a community to be out there talking about the things and the skill sets that we have and our abilities to get our word out. With respect to the blood drives though, when they visit our site, okay, let me just explain it. in order to donate blood, you can go to where you see you'll actually, first of all, have to go eventually to the Canadian Blood Services site. Then, as someone who wishes to donate blood, you can choose which area of the city you would like to go to, because they have several opportunities to donate blood. Once you register, you'll find a place where you can go to donate blood, a Canadian Blood Services venue where you can go to donate blood that is closest to you. It's a very simple process. You don't have to wait. All you have to do is to make an appointment, and their website will lead you to make the appointment. They will sort of work you through to make the appointment. So you make the appointment, you go down to the blood center that you've chosen to go to donate the blood, and they will take you in, check you out, make sure that, okay, you can donate blood, and then you will spend maybe about half an hour, depending on how long it takes for the blood to leave you. And after that, they'll feed you with cookies and warm soup and crackers or juice, and allow you to sit for a while, and then you'd move on. Once you've donated the blood, they usually like to tell you, okay, how many days you have to wait before you can come back again to donate blood. Sometimes they will call you. Sometimes they would set the appointment up for you right there and then. So it's a very simple process. And all we're asking is that you come to our website so we know that you are one of our patients that we have sent to Canadian Blood Services, and we can keep that cycle going. So, is there anything else that you would like to hear that, Raya?
I think the most important things for them to remember is that they need to use the Partner for Life number that has been assigned to your organization to register before they donate the blood, so that you can track those donations and know that the work you're doing in the community is working because people are using the number to donate blood. And most importantly, if you are from the diverse community, you need to understand that people with sickle cell disease need this specific blood, from the diverse communities. They need the phenotype blood. So that's why we are doing this work, and because you can save a life, in a matter of minutes. It takes about 6 minutes for you to do that, and you can save a sickle cell life. So until we have better treatment for them, until we have more treatment option, to better the quality of life, they only rely on those blood transfusion. So please, during this Black History Month, it will be your one action that you will do, and you can continue it for the rest of your life. And my call will go specifically to the second generation. And I will tell you why it's important for us to talk to the second generation. The second generation means our kids who were born growing up here. The reason is that if you've ever had malaria in your life, you cannot donate blood in Canada. So personally, I was born and raised in West Africa. I cannot donate blood, but I have young adults in my house who can donate blood. So if you are a young youth from diverse community or from the Black community, and you are sitting in front of your TV and you want to save your life, and you want to make a difference in our community, this is one action that you can do and become a hero or a hero.
And the other thing I want to do is to add a personal insight to what Biba has just said. On our website, you would see a patient who is taking what we call an apheresis treatment. And that patient happens to be my daughter. And her video, it's a 6-minute video, you can go and look at it, talks about the fact that if she wasn't on this blood treatment, she would never have thought about having a child because of the debilitating effect of sickle cell and the pain. But since she has been on this blood transfusion, she has been, and we call it an apheresis treatment, she has given me a beautiful baby boy. And I can't tell you how much that young man means to me. and if it wasn't for the fact that other people donated blood to help her. So that's one. And the thing about donating blood is that it is an altruistic gift. The person who gets it is indeed very grateful for it, and you give it, and it doesn't cost you a penny.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Arnold, what do you have for us that's surrounding sickle cell?
Yeah, so hey, my name is Arnold. I'm one of the software developer with the Sickle Cell Foundations of Alberta. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit about one of the projects that we have coming up, which is increasing blood donation within the communities around Alberta and as well as nationally. So this project has been going on for quite a couple of years, in which they have conducted research on how we can increase donation within minority communities, especially in Alberta and around Edmonton. And one of the conclusions that actually the team gotten from that research was that interacting with youth through social media and through applications such as a mobile application could be one of the way. So this summer, I was really lucky to be brought onto the team in order to develop, to bring that come to true, develop that application, giving the possibility for youth and community to be able to interact, as well as to be able to bring that community-driven, as well as push that blood donation. So when I was brought back into the team back in June, early June, one of the few things that was I had to look at into how do you develop an application that on the user-facing side, it's quite driving. It's giving people the chance to be able to interact with it, connect with other people, but also inside people to actually go out and donate that blood. And then also more on the technical side, I had to think of as the only developer onto the team, how do I actually develop two platforms on both iOS and Android development. So that has been quite an interesting challenge, an interesting route that I had to go to,
So
which
Arnold,
came up.
uh, why is this application important, and why is it specifically focusing on sickle cell?
So it is important, as I discussed a little bit earlier. It's important because you get the chance to be able to go donate blood either through a campaign. So that app gives you the chance to do a campaign, for example, meaning you invite some of your friends, you invite some of your family members, and go down at the nearest blood center to be able to donate. It gives you some of that feedback. So a bit like any other application out there, it gives you a sense of how much blood you have donated, being able to set your goals, saying, hey, this is how much blood I actually want to be donating for this time. And then it also sends you a bit of a reminder, some of that also health concerns on what you need to do before going to donate blood, what you need to do afterwards. And then some of those reminders as well, if you have passed that time period after your first donation to your second donation.
Yes, I think that's very important, specifically for sickle cell, which doesn't have a lot of awareness in Alberta or in Edmonton, and we see that most of the population that's affected is usually minorities and Black people. So I guess this is going to really help those patients in accessing blood donations easier and faster.
Yeah, it's really gonna help that component of helping patients. Yeah, and as you all stated there, bringing that awareness, because a lot of people are not aware of this, and a lot of people are not aware that that you can donate blood using your PFL number to go directly into helping those communities within sickle cell. So that is one of the main goals this app wants to do, helping those communities, but also create that sense of community and interact between cities, Montreal, Edmonton, Calgary, because you're all onto one platform.
Yes. And when are you launching this app?
So over the summer, we were able to develop a lot of that front end work that goes into the application. So pretty much, how does the app work? And the steps, some of the back end work, meaning how does the application connect to the server, connect to different backend work in order to actually make that booking happening. So we're hoping that within the next couple of months, we are able to develop that kind of backend work so that we can have a prototype, an MVP, the end of this year, so that people can actually try it out on there and we can test it out there in the market before doing an official launch.
Yeah, well, thank you, Arnold, for this. And people can watch out for this app, especially those who are affected by sickle cell. Even if you're not affected by sickle cell, I think this will really help people in getting blood donations. So thank you so much, Arnold, for spending the time to be with us today and informing us about this app. Yes. Well, thank you everyone for being on this panel. I'm sure our audience really, gained a lot of information and are now very informed. I'm sure there are a lot of people who are wanting to donate blood now. And again, you can visit their website at the Sickle Cell Foundation of Alberta. Well, thank you everyone for joining.